Okay, warm up for Friday. We're gonna do 3 minutes on a machine, nice and easy, nose breathing, okay? Or maintaining the nose breathing if you don't have a machine. We are going to do 20 mountain climbers plus. He loves his mobility so much he can't resist. We're gonna go 20 mountain climbers, nice and fast. Turn that over nice and hard. There we go. Right into 10 jumping jacks. Opening up. The lateral movement of the legs, very important on those jumping jacks. So just moving through that rep scheme over the 3 minutes. Nice and easy efforts, just breathing through the nose, taking your breaks when you need them. After the 3 minutes of that general warm-up, heart rate's up, we're gonna foam roll. We're gonna get out the pec and do some soft tissue mobilization. We're gonna choose to do the pecs. If you have a LaCrosse ball, you can use that LaCrosse ball against the wall. You don't have to like make love to the floor or anything. But it's gonna get that nice seesaw kind of action happening, rolling back and forth through his muscle fibers and his pecs, and then also the seesaw action with the arm up and down. Those two combinations will really help to loosen up the soft tissue of the pecs. All right, so specific for today, we're getting spicy. We're going on a 90-second pace time, getting all of this work done within that 90-second window. So we're gonna start with weighted jumping squats. And then we're gonna transition for Bessie transitions. Just make sure on those weighted jumping squats that you're keeping your weight back. Just like we talked about on the back squats the other day, make sure the dumbbell doesn't pull you forward. We're staying back into our heels, engaging our hamstrings. On to the hand plank to push up, to pike. Hand plank to push up, to pike. All right, so moving through this range, you can see, I want you guys to watch the shoulder angle and the exposure to the pecs here after we just kind of mobilize those puppies. This is gonna help get them nice and strong again, okay? Then we're gonna pick up our rope and we're gonna go 20 single unders, nice fast reps, using the floor as a target. All right, we've got our 4th week of our gymnastics cycle, guys. And again, we don't have high enough rings to do muscle ups, but we're making do. We're using our box for some transition muscle ups. So going back and forth between like a high rep, high volume gymnastics piece today, back and forth between ring muscle ups and a deficit parallette handstand push up. So the point of it today is that we want to make is over these high volume reps, we want to be efficient as possible. So staying focused on the right things. When we get tired, our mind tends to get a little lazy. So one important thing to focus on the rings is a concept. And we have to make sure that we understand that any time we're trying to produce force, we talked about this before, we're dealing with opposing forces. The opposing force is going to be a lot more productive than continuing force. So continuing force is if Besky is going to get into his position here for the transition, bring your hips down a little bit. Okay, so we're going to drive our hips up in order to get him up, but we're going to talk about the force as being, so keep your hips down. And just try to pull yourself up just by pulling up with your arms, okay? You can see that his body is disengaged when he tries to just pull up. That's continuing force. He's pulling in the same direction he wants to go. Now opposing force, you can relax a bit, Besky. Opposing force would be, instead of focusing on pulling up, he focuses on driving the rings down, okay? It's a concept and it's a different effort into the rings, all right? And it's gonna allow you to neurologically to produce a lot more force, because you're gonna incorporate your entire body just naturally by driving down through the lats and through the rings, all right? So opposing force goes down to propel himself up, and that coupled with a hip drive is gonna get his ass up and over the rings. Yeah, that's a very tight margin right here for this transition. We're working in tight spaces. Let's see if we can do one more.
For the basket.
Ooh, turn it over. Nice. Nice.
Oh, that was a little ugly.
And if you remember the cue from earlier in the week on the ring dips, we want to squeeze the rings in. He did that beautifully there when he struggled. He squeezed the rings in to generate his body up and over the rings a little bit. So when you get this box out of the way, nice job, Bessie. We'll move the rings now so we can demo the Parallette handstand push-up. So I'm excited about this one. So basically gonna kick up, and he's going to make sure that when he comes down, same as last week I think we want to focus on squeezing the body with the elbows. So as we put those elbows in, so relax your elbows now and just let them drift out. You can see that there's no tension in the shoulder here. If we squeeze our elbows, bringing those elbows kind of together, we just put a whole bunch of tension and specifically torque through the shoulders, and that's going to allow us to drive up with upwards force a lot better. So squeezing with the elbows. Oh, he's going to go strict. We might want to keep this one. He just did it strict earlier, but squeezing with the elbows to create that nice tension and upwards force. I think it's best to finish with his head through his arms. So head down, then he's going to do that nice good kip, head through. And we set this up a little close to the wall. I'd like to see Besky maybe bring those a little further from the wall to get his hand. Let's do that for you now. I'm going to show you this for you guys now. If Besky brings this a little bit further.
There we go.
All right. He's going to have a lot better of a tripod. He's going to that squeezing the elbows in towards the body is going to help him a lot more. He's going to be able to stay on the wall, drag your head through, head through, head through, head through. Good. And we want to finish with that head through the arms, nice and straight and tall at the top. Finishing like so is going to help you with stability. That's your platform to finish on. So have fun with this one, guys. Very complex technical movements and very, very demanding movements. So just diligently go through this and try to go as unbroken as you can. All right? Have fun with it, guys. All right, guys, we got a spicy little EMOM for you today. And now, spicy. We hear it a lot in CrossFit. What does spicy mean? All right, we have spicy, generally people are referring to like a burning sensation. When they say spicy, I think you can kind of associate the two. But what is that burning? Burning happens a lot of different ways. So there's the burn of hypertrophy, there's the burn of lactic acid buildup and accumulation, and then there's the burn of like high heart rate, high respiratory rate, okay? To me, spicy is when all three of these come together. So you get the burn from all three, and this one is going to be spicy, okay? So two movements here to deal with. We've got a hang power snatch, all right? So Bessie's gonna show you this. Now, we're gonna show you a high hang power snatch. This can be useful. Today it might be. However, be careful. We want to use our leverage. So the high hang, that's gonna dip and drive very, very quickly and jump overhead. Okay, when we do a high hang, we cannot get pulled forward. We see a lot of athletes getting pulled forward from the knees, from too much knees forward. We still want the hips to go back slightly and the chest to be over the bar, and we want to drive with our hamstrings and our scap engaged. Good. All right. However, if we're starting to get fatigued and we have too much arm pull happening, which we saw in the power cleans earlier this week, we want to use our leverage the same way. We want that bar to slide down the thigh. Use your leverage. We're going to get a lot more power from that lower position, just a little bit, taking a little bit longer time, putting a little bit more effort into each and every rep. Cycle some of those fairly quickly here. Yeah. All right, so that's going to be more realistic to what it's going to look like in the workout. Very, very smooth transition. We want to absorb our bar with our legs, okay? Then we get to the rope. Earlier this week we did double unders. We're doing them again today, but they're very, very different today. Today, we want them to be very quick. We want to maximize our rest time within this EMOM. If we go do a long effort on here, it's going to feel like we're working the entire 12 minutes today. Let's get these done and over with, okay? So breathe, but spin that rope and don't jump too high and get those double unders done very quickly. Nice job. If we don't have that ability yet to do different styles of double unders. Maybe we can start working on that today. Either start to speed them up or work on that differentiation between the two styles of double unders, nice and long and smooth, or nice and quick. All right, have a good one, guys. This one is going to burn. Have fun.